Hello, fellow tourists. My name's Josh, and welcome back to another Dr. Stone reaction. Last week, we have made it to the origin site of the original petrification beam, and I thought it would be like a machine or a beam or something. No, this is just literally a mountain full of little Medusas. It's just a mountain of Medusas. I had some questions as to how this mountain was being made. Was it something that was made after the fact of the petrification beam, since Y-Man's on the moon? Was it something that was built underground and then was eventually brought to the surface after the beam, or when the beam went out before anyone could report it? They got petrified, of course. So was it something that was built underground? Is the comic book shop that in the real world is at the exact coordinates of the petrification beam in the show, does that not actually exist? Who knows? The last episode just left us on a huge cliffhanger. We do have a couple comments to get through, but I will save those for after we finish this episode. And let's just get started. Man, this is terrible, because like when Stanley gets here, like it's not that they can take all the Medusas. Like Stanley, we're gonna have a Medusa arms race. I'm so interested to know about Y-Man. Like, what were his motivations? What was he thinking? What was going through in his head? And how could he make so many of these just so discreetly? Unless maybe he made these, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe, like, because he sent all the ones that Ginro's new guy, I forgot his name, but Ginro's new bodyguard, he said that a bunch of Medusas fell from the sky like rain. And that was like thousands of years after humanity was petrified. So what if these are all like from space? Like he just makes them and dumps them here maybe? I don't know. Just came to my mind. I don't think so. But that would go into the theory of they were placed here after.
I was 1 meter in 3 seconds.
I'm not holding it. Okay, yeah. They're all dead. What's that gonna do for you guys?
If I get turned into stone taiju again, give me a dose of that sweet revival fluid.
What are you doing?
1 second.
I thought he was just gonna yell and we would hear the echo.
1 second. 1 minute, 1 second.
You know, I gotta respect Taiju for this.
Sounds like he's having fun.
A vast number of advanced weapons of science.
At least there's no arms race then. Until they find out that it's a diamond.
And transform the earth into a stone world.
When we only had 1 Medusa to play with, we couldn't risk doing anything that might have damaged it. But the tides have changed, and now we can be as rough as we want with them. Am I wrong?
So this is the rough dissection.
Tearing apart something you don't understand and trying to figure out how it works.
Won't it be much more difficult to recognize them if they have a different ship?
How the vessel looks is irrelevant.
You're saying that like there's gonna be like a whole bunch of different ships on the island. Like what?
Despite how clever they are, it's only a matter of time.
Is there a reason it's not actually ship-shaped? I wondered the same thing myself.
Doesn't matter.
Is this how they're gonna escape the radar?
What's the... That's why we're building a stealth ship.
The face is essential.
Stealth as in secretive.
So adding pointy edges makes a ship invisible to radar?
Right. That basically sums it up.
Is it like
Remember how the tech works?
send all the
Watch
radar
radio waves that
up?
bounce back after hitting objects. Makes
Ah.
a normal ship.
I've got you now.
Now
It's
imagine
Koski's
it's all
voice?
slanted and pointy.
I can't see a darn thing.
That's
It absorbs
Koski's
radio
voice.
frequencies.
Actually, it looks pretty cool.
Now that it's done, the pointy ship is actually kind
Chrome,
of cool.
what happened?
Tried to tell you.
Only function
What's up with your
matters,
nose?
not form.
Science. What's up with this? This is interesting music.
That day when a crazy number of these things rained down from the sky.
How is it possible
They
no one in the
rained?
21st century noticed until moments before?
There was no warning, neither from NASA's observatories nor anywhere else.
Is this strange shape functional?
We're making... Oh, okay. They're gonna code it in it? Okay.
It's hidden. No signal. What's to stop us from covering the whole frickin' ship with them?
Expansion.
Just scored us our own radar-dodging futuristic stuff.
Dude, that thing is so cool. That is so cool looking.
This new world's craft is something special. We're taking big, bold steps into humanity's science future.
Ah, roll credits. Roll credits.
Science is... It would be far more detrimental to my safety to allow you to forge ahead without me. Naturally, in the event I make any kind of discovery that seems to have escaped your notice, I have no intention of sharing it.
Ah, you're just
Suit
curious.
yourself. As for me, I'll be sharing everything. We dissected around 1,000, but every diamond
Already?
is completely different.
Look at this one. One of the diamonds isn't blackened at all.
Indeed.
So that's
These
the one you gotta
diamonds are like
test.
batteries, aren't they?
Oh my, I forgot that she has her those eyes. That's crazy.
3 seconds.
Throw it at Zeno first.
It's true.
It's
All of our pretty
crazy.
diamonds have the same kind of flaw in them.
Decided to play show and tell with the science kids, huh?
It's irrelevant.
How the heck do they expect us to make diamonds? If that were possible,
Just
then
get some
wouldn't someone in the
coal,
old
get
world
some
have made them
fire,
super
get
rich doing
some
that?
pressure. There you go.
Could anything be easier?
What was that explosion?
And they all died.
But they're counting on us to make a diamond.
Man, I'm so glad we could see a little bit of from their perspective.
Maybe it exploded because there was air inside?
Okay, here we go.
Boom. Hey. And no one on Brody's team was like, what was that explosion?
It's working.
I'll add more power.
Oh my god, that's a little bit more than... I thought it was gonna blow up again. And there it goes. Oh. Looks like we got some... It looks like we're going somewhere. Now they have a small diamond.
They're incredibly tiny.
Alright. We got a little bit more lore. And we made some diamonds. Granted, I don't know what these diamonds are gonna do unless they can somehow forge them into a slightly bigger diamond. Because it looks like the Medusa, the input for the diamond is incredibly specific. And even if there's the tiniest of crack or even the smallest bit of imperfection within the diamond shape, it's not gonna work. Which is kind of funny considering how many times it's thrown. You would think that they get jostled around enough that eventually the diamond will break, which might actually have happened if these all rain from the sky. Them falling into, I mean, granted, Maskuze's tribe, they had the whole thing with them raining from the sky, and they were still able to use some of them as weapons, if not all of them. I don't think Maskuze said any of them were defective, but I guess just over time and not being taken care of and they're exposed, it doesn't look like there's any casing around the diamond. It's just a little piece of diamond right there exposed for the elements. I guess over time, 3,000 years, it's just cracked naturally. But there's some things that I am not confused. I am confused about, just some phrasing of they think they rain from the sky, but they also say that some of them are brand new. So if some of them are brand new, that means that, because Masekuze's, it's maybe I forgot how old Masekuze is, 300 years maybe back, 300, 500. I don't think it goes anything past 500. So that is the newest that they've had, or that's the only one that we've seen. So they say some of them are brand new. So some of them can't be from way back then, 3,000 years ago. But if they fell from the sky, did they all fall in this one location? Because with Masakuzes, they fell from the sky, but it just started panging against the whole island, and that's why they were still, that's why they still had juice in them, because it wasn't just one or all five the radius of the island. This was they just did like 20 feet, or like a meter each once they landed. So that's why they still had juice in them. But these ones are all dead because of either the imperfections, or it's both, imperfections, or they're just completely out of juice because they were the ones that originally petrified the whole world. But if they're brand new, that means that someone's still coming here and putting new ones down. But they're broken. Man, where did they get this petrification device? It was Ibarra. Yeah, Ibarra had it, yeah. Ibarra would treat it very carefully. He knows that's his weapon, so maybe that's why after, I would say maybe 200, 300 years, after all that time, that island, the chieftain was the one that was entrusted the Medusa. So knowing the importance of that artifact, they probably did treat it very, very well. I don't think Ibarra would have done anything to, I don't think he would have done anything that would like put it at risk. So that would make sense as to why it's fine. It just because they keep saying, like, they kept saying, maybe I just misheard it or misunderstood, but they said a few of them were brand new. But like, how old is brand new here? Because we know that it's been about 3,000 years since like the originals, right? So anything after that would be technically newer than them. So are we talking like dumped just yesterday, dumped 100 years ago, dumped within the century, dumped 1,000 years ago? I'm not sure. But all the diamonds, or all the Medusas, are kaput, which is good. I do think that Stanley ratted them out. I don't think we know what his message was, but I'm pretty sure it's the coordinates, since the ship is going all around. Like, so so the ship is coming. So it's very good that they're all dead. I thought we were gonna have like a problem with an arms race, because the whole point of this was to go to the origin. Well, before they met Zeno and his Kingdom of Science, it was to go to the origin and learn. But now the goal is go to the origin, learn, get some form of information / weapon that can be used against Stanley and his forces. But you know, if they all worked, then yeah, there's no way that they're going to be able to bring all that. So Stanley would have eventually gotten his hands on him if he stayed, which he probably will. He's probably going to investigate. Stanley will probably find the mountain of Medusas, just because now they're invisible to radar. So he's going to go, oh, maybe they haven't built the ship yet. Let me go investigate, and then boom, you find the island of Medusas, which then we will have the probably like they have who knows how many Medusas, they're coming. Man, I love, by the way, I want to say I love their ship. It is so cool. It's so angular, it's so sleek. It kind of looks like a small super yacht, I guess. I don't know. I've just seen some yachts that have a similar build to them. It looks so cool, and the Medusa's like hanging all around it. It just adds extra aura to that ship. So I'm not sure. I don't know, because I just love the big thing. The big thing is for me is that they said that it rained Medusas, which maybe they exploded within not the atmosphere, but before they actually hit the ground, because the visuals that I remember seeing. The visuals I remember seeing from the first episode, and every time we do go back and see like when the petrification happens from all these different perspectives, you never see anything falling from the sky. It's always like the big circle, the big oval encompassing the Earth. So maybe they just blew up within the Earth's atmosphere, and that's why we never saw anything falling from the sky. It was just like it was still too high up to see it. I'm not sure what they mean by it, because then why are they all here clustered in one? I would think that that was where they were concentrated, but I don't know. I don't know. This is what whenever I say that Dr. Stone is a show that I would binge, this is why I'm like it. I would just go right to the next episode. I was all right. We're going to the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye. If I wasn't doing this weekly, you would just see Dr. Stone season 4, episode what were we on? 14, 13, episode 13 to 26. Reaction right there. All of the episodes in one go. Will not stop for discussion. We will discuss, or we will theorize during every opening. But man, I'm so interested by like how do all these Medusas get here? Because I'm skimming through the comments of last week's episode, because I think, okay, so yeah, there's this one guy, Lucas Lima, who's saying about the location. You're right. Manus City has over 1 million people. It's not a restricted location. LMAO. The manga later reveals the exact location of Manus, but also reveals who Y-Man is, so I hope you don't see the Reddit post, which I haven't been spoiled on who Y-Man is or what, like, and I'm just, that's why I'm like so curious about him. All the spoilers I could have gotten from Dr. Stone, I have no idea who or what Y-Man is. I'm going to assume at this moment, just so he's still relevant to the story, that he's an AI, unless he cryo froze himself, or maybe it's both an AI and a cryo freeze. But for right now, that's what I'm assuming. He's an AI at the moment, and that's why he used Senku's voice, because it's just like it just relayed back whatever voice it heard, and use that, like, use his algorithm to create a sentence. But so yeah, it is in Manus City, which is where the X and Y coordinates. That's what the X and Y coordinates say within the show. Like, that's where it is, and it is canonically within that area. So how did if these rain from the sky, unless I'm overthinking it, if these all rain from the sky, how did they make it so they're forming a pyramid? That's interesting. I'm so curious. This episode, like, I don't feel like we got too much, because we already knew they were powered on diamonds. We just know that it has to be a perfect diamond. No imperfections, no cracks, no, I want to say rusting. I don't think that's the right word, but they got the black edges. I'm pretty sure the black edges are from overuse, or not overuse. They're just like burned. So all the ones that are burned are the Medusas that were there for D-Day, for M-Day, for P-Day, and then everything that's cracked or deformed is newer, which that is new information. Oh man, I hope Zeno doesn't crack it. I mean, there's nothing Zeno can do. He just knows that they're building a diamond right now. I just don't know how they're gonna make the perfect diamond to fit in the Medusa, because I assume even if they meld them together, you're gonna get those imperfections that seem to, like, the Medusa's so delicate. Man, I keep saying this. I just love Zeno and Senku's relationship. It's like, yeah, I'm the bad guy, I'm the mad scientist, but I'm also a scientist, so I will help you. And I'm not going to share any of my findings. Immediately goes to share his findings. Zeno, no matter how much of a tsundere you want to be, you are just as curious as Senku is, and I love it. I love that Zeno doesn't allow his tendencies as a mad scientist to get in the way of scientific discoveries. He is excited. He is just as excited to see what the heck this future technology is. Like, why is it so advanced? How did it get here? Why is it here? How does it work specifically? Granted, that could be for weapons, so that does suit his interest, but I do believe his scientific mind is taking the forefront. He's not really going... I don't think right now he's like, oh, these kids are going to use this against Stanley and my forces. No, he's like, I want to dissect that. And I also love, like, I don't think I mentioned it in the last episode, but like within the flashback of this episode, or just replaying the cliffhanger from last episode, Zeno is just as terrified or just as in awe of the mountain of Medusas as everyone else. I really like this. It's making Zeno more than just kind of like the evil scientist villain. It is giving him a little bit more of a personality and persona that he gets to have on his own, which I love. I already really liked Zeno because he was so different from the previous antagonists that we've had. Where this is the first actual actual like scientific mind that Senku has to go up against that is on a very similar level to him. And then we just kept adding layers. Like Zeno was Senku's previous teacher, and now here where Zeno is captured, but he is just too curious about how all of this works. I love this. I love the relationship. I love the chemistry. And again, I'll say I am glad that we get to see more of the Kingdom of Science crew that's stuck over in the Corn Village, because I really thought after we left them there, I thought we weren't going to see them again. I think it's happened before in the. I mean, yeah, it has happened. Like with the Ibarra, when Senku went to Treasure Island, we left a couple of characters. They weren't too important. I think Senku took almost everyone of importance other than Minami. I think that's the reporter's name. So I guess there wasn't too much to go back to there. But I thought it was going to kind of be something like that where we're just going to follow Senku. But I am glad to see that the people in the Corn Village do have such an integral part still to the plot. And it's just I just looked at my notes, and I only have the thing sonar proof. I guess I didn't talk about that, but that just goes with the future technology. That I talked about all my notes. I didn't take much, just for all dead, sonar proof, rain, and brand new. Those are my notes. And I already went across a couple of I already went across one of the comments. So I will go over some of the other ones just from last week's episode. Most of these are from Lucas Lima, but one of them is from John Doe, so I'll read through Lucas Lima's really quickly. Zeno thinks, and most of these are considering Hyoga and Zeno, because Hyoga had a pretty big part last episode in terms of where his allegiances lie. And there's a big part of my discussion last week where I was talking about kind of the similarities between Hyoga and Zeno. So this goes more into that. Zeno also thinks they are foolish people, just like Hyoga, but Zeno wants to rule over them like a dictator, while Hyoga wants to leave them as stone. That's the difference. So Zeno does want to revive as many people as possible, so he can be a king, whereas Hyoga is just like, he doesn't want those mouths to feed. He doesn't want he only wants people that are the best of the best, like within their own fields, people that he respects, people that he knows can carry their own weight, whereas Zeno wants as many people to appreciate his genius. And then there was there's also a headcanon that Hyuga has this mentality because of his past. He was talented in fighting style passed down by his family, but everyone only cared about his handsome appearance, and that's why he covers himself with the mask. He wants to be seen only for his talent and not his appearance, which I wish, like, that's a headcanon. That means it's not official. I wish that we got to see more of that, because I'm going to just go to John Doe's comment really quick. I always find it funny how Hyuga and Tsukasa are just chill now. Just a reminder that Hyuga did kill those goons with the poison gas in season 1 and almost killed Tsukasa / Miri. Tsukasa has also presumably destroyed every adult statue he came across and also attempted to murder Senku. They were both cool characters and I like them, but they got bodies for sure. I wonder how many statues Tsukasa destroyed. Which, to combine that with what Lucas said about Hyuga, I wish Hyuga and Tsukasa both, but like Hyuga, just since we're talking about him, I wish they were able to get some more in between character development for between like these big arcs, because right now I don't see like there's not a lot for them to do in terms of developing their own character. I wish that we were able to get just a little bit more of them, especially Hyuga, because he is like, that is like a really big turn. Mostly it is because he does respect Senku. He sees Senku's strength and just decided to side with that instead of going with his own kingdom, and I think Senku has gained his trust for putting faith in him. But the idea of like the reason why he covers his face, it's not because of the cracks that he has on his lips, which I'm pretty sure should be gone since he was petrified and revived a second time. He does it so that people focus more on his spear training or his spear skills rather than his looks, which I think Hyuga, did he come from like a well-renowned family? I don't remember. I do remember something about his past, but I don't remember if his family was necessarily famous. I know that his family like had that spear skill, that fighting style, and it was passed down, but I don't remember if they were like well-renowned. If like, oh my god, it's the Hyuga family, they're so cool with that spear move, or if it's just like something within the community like that does spears, like, you're the Hyuga, son of your father, son of your grandfather, we very much respect that spear move, but damn, you're pretty as fuck, you know? Is it something like that? Or no, if it is like, either way, regardless, I love the idea that Hyuga continues to wear that mask, because even in the stone world, after so many years of kind of just having his talents disrespected just because he has, like, he's handsome, or just because like he's a good looking guy, I love that idea that Hyuga is so into the spear that he would rather, or that he just loses himself within it, that he covers his face so people make sure that the only thing that they are focusing on when they see him isn't him, it's his talent. And that, I think that's a really good idea, and they could have really done something with that, given like a little personal like thing, maybe not an arc, just like he's talking with Senku or Kohaku, maybe, since Kohaku and him are warriors, probably two of the best warriors. I don't like, Tsukasa is a warrior, but he's more of like a brute strength MMA fighter with his bare hands. I know he's got that big sword, but I think Kohaku and Hyuga could have been like really good rivals in terms of like their skills. It's the skills of the past versus the skills of the present now, which maybe like a scene with them where he talks about it, or like she says, hey, your face is healed, why do you like you know, like, you don't have to worry about the cracks on your face anymore, why do you still wear the mask? I don't know, something like that I think would have given him a little bit more depth. Doesn't quite explain why everyone's so cool with him, which technically they're not. Just to give the Kingdom of Science kids, just to give them a little bit of credit, like, they allow Hyuga to be there with them, but a majority of them, I think Senku just like, Senku just knows, like, he's got a thing about himself where he says he's not a people person, but he knows what someone, like, he's I don't think he's easily manipulated. Trying to even think if Gen's ever gotten him, but Like, everyone other than Senku is worried about Hyoga. And even if Senku's worried about Hyoga, he doesn't care. He's like, we have bigger things to worry about. But last episode did show the true colors of so many people within their group, where, like, when it came to trusting Hyoga, they're like, oh, okay, all of a sudden we're not cool with you right now. Like, we are going to be keeping a very close eye on you, which goes to show, like, how much trust he has actually garnered. So they do trust him as, like, a fighter to reserve, but, like, they wouldn't trust him with, like, anything super important. Maybe now they do. But yeah, I do agree with John Doe. If you think of the timeline of the series, it is so fast of, you were my enemies and now you're our strongest allies. You're the muscle. And for Tsukasa's credit, I'm pretty sure the show hand waved away all the statue deaths that he caused, because he remembered every single one of the statues, and Yuzuriha has managed to glue them all together, and they're just waiting to be revived now, because they need to figure out like food and water, like how to store so much to feed a much larger population, as well as the I forgot what I knew the term before they said it, or I knew the idea, the concept of the term before, like, the show introduced it, but it's the term like the average human can only remember like 150 names or faces or something like that. And like the original village in Japan was either almost exceeding it or had exceeded it. So reviving any more people at a much more rapid pace puts the small society that they've been able to build there, it puts it in jeopardy. Because it's like, then you're going to start getting people like saying, oh, like, since I don't know you personally, I'm going to be a dick. But yeah, I've said this a while. I love Tsukasa. He was one of my favorite characters within season 1 and season 2, just because of how complex he was. And now, ever since he died and got better, like, his stocks have gone down a little bit in terms of just, there's so many new characters. There's so many new characters. There's so many great personalities with so much more screen time now too, that I will always feel nostalgic for season 1 and season 2 Tsukasa. But at this moment, I don't think he breaches my current top 5 characters within the show. I would need to see my current. I would need to make a list. I am so making a tier list when this show's over. Best Dr. Stone characters, and then we'll rank all the arcs, because that's what I do. But yeah, I do agree. Like, it is kind of wild, like, when you think of the timeline of how much time has passed between these characters. Like, at least with Tsukasa, he and Senku were friends. Hyoga was like, and like Tsukasa could say, like, he never technically killed anyone because they glued them back together. Hyoga's got at least 3 bodies on him, which is the guys that he let the mist or like the poisonous lake kill. Like, Hyoga has at least 3 bodies. We don't know how much more. But yeah, I do wish that we got a little bit more material with them, especially like with what I was saying with Kohaku. It didn't even occur to me, but I remember Hamilton from last week's episode was saying that Kohaku and Hyoga are a popular ship within the Dr. Stone community. So if they had kind of had that moment between them, like, I think the ship would have just like started sailing even harder. But yes, we have a stealth ship now. We're heading back to the mainland. Stanley has no idea, I think, that Senku is on his way back to the corn base. The question is, will oh shoot, why did I forget? Will Brody warn Stanley? Because Brody is the leader right now. I don't know how many more loyal people Stanley has in the corn village, but Brody is the leader. I think he's like the only recognizable character on Stanley's side over there. So would he warn Stanley, or does he turn? Because I mean, like, if he turns to the Kingdom of Science Japan edition, then that's all the better. He's a great character, and I'd love to see more of him. So I hope he does turn, but we'll have to wait and see. Probably next week we'll get into it, and I'm hoping that Stanley kind of lollygags a little bit. I'm hoping that he's like, oh well, they're not on the radar, so they must still be on the island. And then boom, he finds all the Medusas, and he's gonna find the one that's still working. Honestly, I thought that Taiju, when he said, "If I get stoned, revive me," I thought he was just gonna yell, 1 meter, 1 second, and we just hear it echo across the entire country. I thought we were gonna go for that gag, but him just jumping into the pile and then just screaming, that was fun. And I love that, like, that just gave Kohaku and not Yuzi. Why do I just like forget? There's too many characters. Oh, I love her too. Suika, Kohaku and Suika are like, oh, we should go do that too. Well, I would assume that they're all broken except for the one that Stanley might find. Yeah, we gotta add some tension here. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, because we will be back next week for more Dr. Stone. If you have only been here for the reactions, I have released another video essay. The last one I think was Mashoko Tensei, which was like 6 months ago maybe. I released a video going in depth on the characters of 2B Hero X, specifically Lin and Yang. I thought it was a phenomenal video while I was making it, and just have been blown away by like how many views and how much traction it's been getting lately. I honestly just, I'm like, oh, okay, this is probably gonna make like 100 views. No, it's sitting at 4,000 right now, which I'm just like, okay, that's amazing. That is very motivating, because one of the biggest things I was kind of scared of doing when I rebranded this channel was like, this was a reaction channel, and I kind of got burnt out. But I found like myself having a lot of fun doing the more original content with the anime awards and like the one free run video essay that I made. But I was like, man, I hope people like these videos, because I'm gonna be very sad if they don't, because they put a lot of effort. Like, those videos have like a ton of effort that get put into them. But yeah, I'm very glad to see that that video has been getting a bunch of support, and I'm hoping to make more like that. I'm thinking maybe Takopi next. I don't know, just like Takopi, I loved that show, but it's got some very heavy topics, and I'm not sure if like I'm qualified enough to do them justice within a video essay. But we'll see how the script goes. But yes, thank you all very much for watching. And check out the original anime videos, check out the streams, and I'll see you all next week for more.